Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing some new statements brought to us by Ninjago series head writer Doc Wyatt over on Blue Sky. Obviously, we've done many videos like this before. Doc Wyatt has recently answered a ton of Ninjago fan questions over on Blue Sky, so much so that we have many videos in the works focusing on all of these answers and what they could mean for the future of Ninjago, especially in Dragons Rising. For today's video, we have a few updates regarding the Forbidden 5, a few more updates surrounding Thunderfang and his future, and also the Overlord, and what exactly he knew about the merge before the merge ultimately happened. Like I said, lots of stuff to talk about here. Let's start with the new Forbidden 5 lore, because we actually do now have new Forbidden 5 information. Someone asks a few questions, one of them being question number 5, in what order did the Forbidden 5 meet? To which Doc Wyatt replies, in the order of the deep shadow founded by Raven King, who knocked dethroned. So, interesting there. I guess my first thought when reading the question was, in what order did the Forbidden 5, meet each other? Obviously, Noct and Rox knew each other because they were siblings, but when did they meet Zarkt? When did they meet Drix? When did Kerr step into the picture, you know? I feel like that's more so what this question was meaning to ask. But hey, new Forbidden 5 lore. Apparently they were founded in the order of the Deep Shadow founded by Raven King, who knocked dethroned. So by Raven King, I assume that means of the Raven Chima tribe, considering that ravens, again, came from Chima, and all of this took place in the wildness. And apparently the king was dethroned by Noct, which would make sense considering that at one point in time, we do know that the Forbidden 5 laid waste to much of the wildness, including several tribes from Chima and other associated territories and whatnot. So Noct dethroning a Raven King. I do like how that does kind of go in line, though, with the idea that the Phoenix tribe from Chima also battled the Forbidden 5 at some point. Very much sounds like the Chima tribes had their hands full with the Forbidden 5. This is no exception. And I do find it funny, again, that we can't get this type of Forbidden 5 lore in the show, but just casually dropping it on Blue Sky, you know, that's good enough. We are still getting the lore after all, so I guess that's good. Next up, let's talk about some Thunderfang updates, speaking of the Forbidden 5. So the first question comes from question number 6 in this selection. Did Thunderfang, the Spectral Dragonians, the Soul Suckers, and the Forbidden 5 simply move on to the afterlife after Thunderfang's defeat in the Spectral Lands? To which Doc Wyatt replies, not revealed yet. So another one of these hints. Again, we have talked about this before, but I do think it is very likely that Dragons Rising Season 4 could eventually talk more about what happened to Thunderfang, the Forbidden 5, the Soul Suckers, all of that good stuff, because obviously we need that to be addressed in some way, and I'm assuming because Doc Wyatt said here, not revealed yet, it's probably going to be revealed eventually. Probably in Dragons Rising Season 4, either that, or I would love to see maybe some kind of Thunderfang Forbidden 5 comic, maybe taking place in the afterlife, for example, documenting what exactly happened to them, or again, just a casual reference in the show, maybe by a source dragon. That would be good enough. Either way, I do think we definitely need to find out what exactly happened to Thunderfang, because the answer cannot be revealed yet. It's probably going to be addressed by the show at some point. Next up here, talking about Thunderfang, someone asks this interesting question. Quick question, and this is a hypothetical question. If Thunderfang did force himself onto the council, would that make him part of the cosmic order like the other source dragons are a part of, meaning he can't be removed from the council unless he wants to? To which Doc Wyatt replies, no, he thinks it would, but he's wrong. Interesting. So in my mind, this directly relates back to the process of a dragon becoming a source dragon. Obviously, Thunderfang wanted to achieve that goal, but him joining the council would not automatically mean that he was promoted to that same type of standard that the source dragons go by. Meaning, again, the source dragons are cosmic beings. Thunderfang would not instantly become a cosmic being if he was accepted into the council. I am curious to see what that means for other events that might transpire transpire in Ninjago Dragons Rising, like for example, Ryu possibly becoming a Source Dragon. I think a lot of Ninjago fans have very much accepted that Ryu will probably become the Source Dragon of Balance at some point before Ninjago's end. Does this mean that Ryu will simply just not ascend to that next level of power, but instead he will still be a Source Dragon, but just in title only? Like maybe he would still exist in his mortal form, but be able to connect to the Source Dragons. The original Source Dragons can go from cosmic form to mortal form, but maybe Ryu would just only be stuck in mortal form, yet he would still be able to communicate. At least again, that's what it's sounding like to me. Again, very curious to see if this means anything for the future of Ninjago Dragons Rising, especially with Ryu possibly becoming a Source Dragon at some point. Again, curious to see what happens there. And finally, let's talk about the Overlord update. So someone asks this question: did the Overlord know about the merge like the first Spinjitzu master knew about it? Doc Wyatt replies, "There's a reason I can't answer this question now, but it's not the reason you think." So what is the reason that we think? I think a lot of people would jump to the conclusion that the Overlord is the master of Lord Ras, or the Overlord caused the merge, or something like that, and I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I do believe that the Overlord did know about the merge. I mean, probably. The first Spinjitzu master knew about it, and obviously with the Overlord being heavily tied to the first Spinjitzu master, I can't imagine the Overlord would not sniff that out as well. He's definitely one of the strongest influences that Ninjago has ever seen, obviously representing the evil side of the balance, but still influence nonetheless. I can't imagine, again, if one side knew about the merge, the other side would not, especially with how entangled the first Spinjitzu master and the Overlord were. Now, again, just to humor the idea, did the Overlord cause the merge? Probably not. I don't really think that would make much sense. I mean, it might in the context of the Overlord would have more to control if all of the realms were directly brought to Ninjago. Though, like I said, I do think the Overlord at least knew about the merge. I think that would make a ton of sense. But with that being said, everyone, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Again, just a video going over several new statements from Doc Wyatt. We still have a bunch of stuff to talk about here, even beyond this video, so be sure to stay tuned. We will talk about more answers that Doc Wyatt has posted later on. The guy keeps posting stuff. He's the writer of Ninjago, or at least one of them. It's hard not to talk about what he says, but leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments, everybody. What exactly do you think about everything that we discussed in today's video? And like always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you guys did, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.